Redevelopment Commission meeting to order. Are we set up, Z?
Yes, we're rolling.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Alan, start us off.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Lynn, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Locke.
Here.
Mr. Zilli.
Here.
Mr. Echtel. Mr. Munt.
Here.
Mayor Lynch.
Here.
Dr. Finley.
We have the approval of the minutes from the June 24th regular meeting.
Make a motion to approve. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. We have the minutes from the June 30th special meeting.
Make a motion to approve. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We have the payment of claims.
Make a motion to approve the claims. Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the claims. Are there any questions? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, we have the staff reports.
Good afternoon, Mayor, members. Great to see you. Update on a couple things. We are scheduled to meet with Gary Up Construction in a pre-construction meeting for the City Hall project. That meeting is set for Tuesday at 2:30 p.m. at City Hall, and we'll start to talk through with the contractor about the schedule and the work that lies ahead. And again, we'll keep you posted and updated as to our progress during the contract. Marquette Greenway Trail, Sandy and I are set to do a walkthrough on that project next week, Sandy?
Yes.
Next Wednesday? Next Thursday. And we will be walking through with the contract and our representative for that project. Robbins Road is closer to being wrapped up. A Hawk was on site today installing the traffic signal heads. It'll still be a little longer before those traffic signals are mobilized, if that's the right word to use. We're still working with NIPSCO on getting the power sorted, and then we'll have to do striping with the striping contractor to redo the striping at that intersection. But that work is progressing and things are going well. I don't think I have anything else right now unless you have questions of me.
Any other questions? Okay. So under old business, we will award the 2021 Founders Square Improvements Project.
So thank you, Mayor. Included in your packet is a letter of recommendation from DLZ. I had an opportunity to meet with representatives from DLZ, I believe shortly before June 7th, to discuss the bids And it would be, and you see what the recommendation there is to, I'm sure there's a simple statement in here somewhere. Yeah, so it would be theirs and the department's recommendation for the Redevelopment Commission to move forward with Gary Up Construction Company with the total bid amount of $704,500.
Plus alternate 1 and 2?
Yeah, that 704 is the total of the base bid and alternative bid items numbers 1 and 2.
Do we have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve. Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the Garia bid for the Founder Square improvements. Is there any further questions? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Mayor, members, we'll now move forward working with the contractor, Attorney Witten, on contracting. So we're probably a few weeks away from, taking care of all that and starting to schedule the work.
Okay. So we have the Robbins Road Extension Change Order number 3. No, we have 8.1 first. The increase in the hourly rate for 6100 Southport Road Maintenance Agreement.
Yes, so this letter was submitted to Lynn and the Clerk Treasurer's Office on June 2nd, and this was Holiday Property Services informing the city's Redevelopment Commission of some changes in their hourly rate. Lynn and I have shared this letter, this correspondence with Attorney Witten, and felt that Dan's recommendation was to bring it to this board. We had some questions, and it didn't look as simple in the contract that they could just do that, that we needed to come here before the commission for discussion, consideration, and action.
What were the rates before? Or is this an increase to the
This
rates?
is an increase in the previous contract that Lynn may have articulates what those rates are.
From 65 to 95 per hour.
In the packet, there's a 64-hour. Okay, got it.
And then is Lynn, is there in that, because the second number in this letter is a $95 an hour, but that looks to be weekends and holidays. I would imagine the original contract even articulates that price difference.
I don't remember.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm not sure about that, Greg. So the hourly and normal hours of operation are Monday through Friday from 8 to 5, goes from 65 to 95. Is that correct?
I should have brought the contract.
Okay, so I don't know that.
I did not.
Okay.
You read it, Dan, do you
I
remember?
did, I don't remember. It wasn't I don't remember. All I could say, I read the contract more because when I see these types of sort of unilateral increase to rates, my first, of course, stop is to look at the contract to see if there's anything there that allows a notice of a unilateral increase, because a lot of times those have time periods in them for us to respond. But I didn't see anything in there that allowed them to make this sort of one-sided increase. Now, interestingly enough, which is why I thought it needed to come to the board. I mean, it may be very well a valid increase. Without some contractual that I've been shown, without some contractual authority to do that, I mean, we could tell them no. Of course, the contract, as memory serves, allows either party to terminate the contract, so that we might find ourselves looking for another vendor if we tell them no. So that's why I thought it needed to probably be a discussion with the board for two reasons. One is I don't have the authority to say, okay, neither does AJ on this, I don't think. But I think that, because we don't want to end up with no contract without the board's knowledge of that potential outcome.
So AJ, I do have a question, because what I'm reading is it's $65 an hour from 8 to 5 Monday through Friday, And then $95 for emergency calls
Right.
and weekends.
Right.
So it
So
was
my
straight across the board $65 before,
Well,
right?
that's my assumption.
Okay,
I don't have the contract in front of me.
okay.
I mean, do you know how many times we've used this service? Or
It's so hard, this last year and a half, that's a difficult question to answer because there hasn't been a lot of activity within the building. I would imagine that in previous years when NERC's in the building, the forms in the building, the public's in the building, that there was a lot more going on, the daily wear and tear, the lamps, the bathroom sort of things, in terms of a clog or something like that. But in terms of tracking, Lynn, I mean, we track this month to month, and we haven't seen too much come across the docket on the Redevelopment Commission.
I haven't had a bill for 2 months for their maintenance, so.
Right.
and is there a,
But that's unusual. We usually have
Some.
something where they've gone in and changed light bulbs, or they've
Right.
fixed a leaky toilet, or,
Right.
that kind of stuff. And I can get you something pretty quickly.
and is there
If you
an
want.
end date to this contract?
Let me see that letter.
Because it
Is
kind of
there an ending
seems
to the
open,
contract?
like the last one,
Let's see
it's
if I
just,
can find it.
I believe that the contract is open. I know it's
I
one of
think
those
it's open.
contract types that Dan doesn't like, but I believe that's the construct of this one, that it continues until we or the other party decide we would like to be out of it, and there's a 30-day notice period.
Yeah.
Could I ask a question, AJ? Is that something that, since it seems to be minimal, the general services could do, or is that,
For the only thing the best way I think I can answer that is, historically speaking, the Parks Department took care of this property, Terry, at the time. There was a decision by the commission some point in the past to hire a property manager out on site, and I think it goes back a number of years. So I don't know how to answer that question without reaching out to them to ask, do you have the capacity to once again take this on?
so does that include outside the building, like weeding the flower beds and things like that, or is that strictly in the building structure itself?
Yes, the contract, yes, so the contract talks about what we get as the service per month. This is the part of the contract that talks about the other services if other people need to come out to help. The outside stuff, there's some language in that contract that they take care of, but there's also a number of things that they will bill us separately for. And so we see some of those bills from time to time come across. If they go out on the property, they do the mowing, they do the landscape beds, you'll see those come across as your docket as another expense beyond the, I believe, Lynn, what, $833 a month we pay
$833 a month for the maintenance.
for the maintenance part of the contract. So things above and beyond that $833, you are seeing those come across. Recently, we haven't seen too much. It's probably been a little while since we've seen the landscape bill.
Landscape is $975, and that's been constant
Okay.
since they
A
took
month?
Yep.
to mow
And then 833,
That's the general agreement of the management
and
of,
that's a month.
yes.
That hasn't gone up in forever. That's
Forever,
been constant.
since probably back in 2012. So I think our management agreement's around 10,000, and then all of these other things come to us as bills.
$10,500.
There you go. And Mayor, the only way I think I can give the commission an answer and you a answer on that is to reach out to General Services to see if this is something that they can
So
take on.
I'm sorry, the contract currently, I found it, currently has $60 for services performed during regular hours
Okay.
and $90
So it's going up.
for the other.
So it's going up
stuff.
$5.
So it's not a huge increase.
Right.
I think at this point, I mean, we would be talking about changing this when the contract's up, which I assume is end of year, Dan? Does this run through end of year?
No, this is open-ended.
I think this,
Oh, it's
this
open-ended.
is just
Open-ended.
yeah, this is an escape clause kind of one where it's auto-renewing,
Got it.
and we just can, at any time we can, memory serves, I'm looking at that now to make sure that I'm not.
Well, I mean, I think, I don't think $5 is,
No, I'm looking at the
yeah,
bigger
right,
picture.
right.
And wondering if general services could.
Is it
And
possible?
I think we need to have that discussion with general services.
Yeah, is it possible to just approve this now and then come back to us in our next meeting with a
Yes.
recommendation?
Yes. Yes.
We'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. I do think we need to
I will.
continue.
I'll be back next month.
Now we have the approval of the Robbins Road extension, change order number 3, an increase.
Sandy, I see we have a $22,000 change order. Can you help me understand what this is for?
It looks like it is, I'm not sure what it's for.
Yes, it's 20,000.
Oh, I'm sorry, thank you, yeah. I apologize. On the change order form, you'll see the reason for the change order.
Yeah.
It's remove a flowable fill from around existing manhole to make a stormwater connection. So this was a stormwater structure at the northwest corner of Willow Creek Road in Robbins. And we needed to de-water and pump it out and get the water out of the hole so that we could install the infrastructure. It required some coordination with city services because there's a section of stormwater pipe along Willow Creek Road that's always holding water. We needed to turn the stormwater lift station on. So there was some coordination that needed to take place out there to make sure the hole was dry enough to install the new structure. And this change order is an add change order in the amount of $2,060.50. We were out there, the work did happen, and it'd be our recommendation to approve change order number 3.
Motion to approve. Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve change order number 3. Is there any further questions? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. We have the contract with American Structure Point at Grant Street to Peach.
Several months ago, the commission approved a local project agreement, a consulting contract with American Structure Point for Central Avenue West. And then I believe the first one included right-of-way services. Then subsequently, LaPorte District asked us to remove right-of-way services. We came back with an LPA that then excluded the right-of-way services you approved. Now we are back with the LPA for right-of-way services with American Structure Point. This is a project that is moving in earnest. We are scheduled, Sandy, I believe, for a March 2022 letting.
Correct.
So we will see work on Central Avenue near Willow Creek next, probably late spring, early summer. It would be staff's recommendation to approve this LPA for right-of-way services with American Structure Point.
And the central, that was the funds awarded to community crossings or something?
No, so this one, this project here, Mr. Lack, is a combination of funding from reallocated federal funds from the Stamison Road project, as well as federal funds through STP Group 1, through STP Group 1 at NERC. So we have cobbled. We've brought together $5-ish million, about $5 million for this project. And this project is immediate, and as I mentioned, in next year, a lot of the work will be right at Willow Creek and Willow Creek proper and Central, And then the project limits on the bigger construction project is Brant Street, so the intersection of Central and Brant by the Dairy Dip, and continuing east back toward Peach Street. It includes the realignment of both intersections at Swanson and Willowdale. And includes a new bridge over Willow Creek and a realigned Central Avenue.
So let me ask you a question. Do we need a motion and a second first before we start this
Yeah.
discussion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. AJ, does that impact, you know, before the Stormwater Board, we had the family that keeps coming about flooding on their property
On Brant Street.
on Brant. Does that affect them, or is that gonna?
The Central Avenue West project will, in time, provide the stormwater infrastructure needed to reconstruct Brant Street. But in the short term, no.
But eventually, this project will run
Yeah,
the storm
the-
sewer infrastructure.
Correct, yeah,
that
the-
stormwater department
Yes,
could
sir.
then add.
Yes.
onto
So
Brant
the
Street.
thought, very similar to how the city moved forward with the Stone Avenue project a number of years ago. The trunk line goes in on Stone Avenue, and when the Stormwater Board or, you know, another city department can, you know, like we reconstructed Parker, Bryan, and Danube, or Arlene, you know, that trunk line infrastructure is there. The city's design approach is similar to that on Central Avenue West.
Right, because, I mean, really, I don't think on Brant, there's nothing to connect it to.
That's correct.
So that's the problem, is there's no other system available to connect
Yes,
to. There's
that's
no
right.
ditch we could run into now.
But I know that will come up to the Stormwater Board, because I know that
Yes.
they will be back. So I wanted us to be able to explain what we're doing here so that they can see that we're not getting to them yet.
Yes, that's correct.
And I mean, there will be others other than Brant Street, right? None of that area really has stormwater, right?
Well, right, yeah, because there's no outlet, that's
Right.
correct. And this project, the Central Avenue West project, begins to install the infrastructure that then can be built so that subsequently we can handle the north-south streets that may have stormwater issues.
Perfect.
Okay. Is there any further discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. Is there any other business to come before this commission?
AJ, we got a second appraisal on the Little League properties.
Yes, sir, I received that today, early this afternoon. I will be sending out to all the members now both appraisals so that you can begin your deliberations as to next steps.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is there any further discussion? If not, I will
Mayor,
entertain a
sorry, Mayor,
motion.
Could I
Did
add one thing?
Yes.
So earlier this week, I had a conversation with Mike Micka from Holiday Properties. If you'll recall, we have a purchase agreement with Holiday on 2 properties, both east and west of Founders. They are really toward the end of their inspection period. They have asked that the commission acknowledge that they are past their inspection period, and they asked for a few more weeks. Mike indicated that Holiday will be having their next partners meeting to discuss the 2 projects here in Portage, and he indicated that the first week of August he would have a response as to whether or not Holiday is intending to move forward on those purchase agreements. I just wanted to offer that update to you because I know it's been part of many of the conversations we've been having. So I would expect next month to have an answer for you.
And these are the 2 on Main Street.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Do we have to like formally extend?
The
period, or?
Yeah, good question. Attorney Whitten, so the contract, the purchase agreement talks about the need for a written extension. Holiday was made aware of that. I don't know if we had the time to put the written request for extension in action. I have some email correspondence back and forth, but not a letter that says, hey, City of Portage Redevelopment Commission, we're seeking an extension of 30, 60 days. I think the purchase agreement allowed up to 60. So all I have right now is some email correspondence back and forth.
We're going to want to memorialize that a little better.
Okay. So can I work with you to do that?
Yeah, we can do that. I mean, what you've got is good, but I think we should take it a little bit further.
Okay.
Do you need something from us now? Like authorizing that, Dan, and then we can just move it forward, or?
Eventually I'll need that from you, so you can do it now, and then we can do our thing.
Because they're just looking for a couple more weeks.
It's just a few more
Yeah.
weeks.
I mean, I'll make a motion to extend it till August 30, whatever the last day of August is.
31st.
There's 30 or 30.
31st.
Okay.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to extend the agreement to August 31st. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Motion carries.
I appreciate that. The last thing I want to bring up is that Member Lack did bring to my attention an interest of the Ewan family that formerly leased Redevelopment Commission owned property for farming. They are interested in they've asked whether or not the Redevelopment Commission would be interested in leasing that property for that purpose. So I just wanted to bring that question to you today. If it's something you would be interested in, I can work with the Ewans to develop an agreement. I would be working with Lynn to review some of the old documents that we had with the lease with the Ewans, and so if you are interested in that, I'll proceed moving forward with that interest and come back to you.
Do you want something official?
Where is that location at?
So the area that are interested in is the portion of the 120-acre parcel that we own, north of Burns Waterway and south of the NIPSCO High Line. So it's that kind of middle area of that other project.
To the east of Marine Street.
Yes. Yeah. So we own
That's what they've been farming
40
previously.
Yeah, maybe about 40 acres.
maybe
somewhere
40 acres. The Ewans, is it Charles?
there. Yeah.
Okay, Charles indicated that a lot of the land is ready to be farmed. There is a small portion that has some mining activity going on it, and he committed that he would do some restoration work, and then that area would be able to be farmed again or tilled again. So I can begin working on that. I'll work with Lynn to pull out the old leases and work with Mr. Ewan to bring a lease proposal back to the commission, if it's your
Is he
pleasure.
wanting to plant this year? Because it's getting pretty late.
Yeah, it's going to take probably until the end of the year just to get it in a tillable manner. You might plant a winter crop or something like that, but more than likely
Okay.
just plant in the spring and harvest in the fall.
Okay.
And I think from our standpoint, unless we break all kinds of land speed records, I really don't see that land being like any activity we would do in 2022 would compromise any lease we would have with Charles next year.
Okay.
So you don't need anything official?
I don't believe so. I'll work on that with Charles and then be back to you for your consideration.
That'll work.
Is there anything else to come before the commission?
Not at this time.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
you, everyone.